Hey guys, how are you doing today? I hope you all are having a very great time. If you remember, in the last session, we had discussed about DynamoDB, its features, various use cases. So, this particular lecture is creating a DynamoDB table. So, before going to a demo part, let me first quickly recap the things we had covered in the last session. Then we can jump to the demo part and then we'll summarize. Okay. So please continue till the end so that you can understand all those steps in a proper way. First of all, let's recap what is the DynamoDB service. Basically, DynamoDB, as we discussed in the last session, is a fast and flexible NoSQL database service for all application that needs consistent single-digit millisecond latency at any scale. It's a fully managed database service and from Amazon and supports both documented key value data models. We know DynamoDB is a serverless database service and it's a NoSQL database service. It can scale at any level, as we'll see how the scaling and other things. And yeah, these are some of the things. Then in the DynamoDB, tables, items and attributes are the core components that we work with. So we'll see in the demo part. A table is nothing but a collection of items. Each item is, there are various attributes into that. This is about tables, items and attributes. So if you remember last time we had discussed about this table which shows this is the example of items and attributes. As you can see, this is the people in the table here, the name of table. The items are various, it consists of the various stuffs here. Attributes is nothing but it is you can see a specific characteristic of each item, you can say as an attribute. Then we had also discussed about benefits and features. So benefits like the performance at in scale. DynamoDB supports some of the world's largest scale applications by providing consistent single digit millisecond response time. Then as it is serverless, okay, so there is no server to manage, it will be fully managed service from AWS. And in features we discuss about it stores data on SSD storage, hence the performance is very fast. There are 3 copies of which are spread across geographically distinct data centers. And we also discuss about read consistency, which has eventual read consistency, which is the default one, and strong consistency. So these are the things we had discussed in the last time. Let's get started with the demo part. So I have logged into my AWS management console, where you can see DynamoDB is, you need to go to database, and here you can see DynamoDB. So click on that. So now this is the main page of the DynamoDB. I will click on create table button here. So there are several things that we can go with the database DynamoDB table. First of all, let us give the name of a table. I can give as DynamoDB game 01. You can give any name. So the characters between 3 and 255, including letters, numbers, underscore, hyphens and dots, these are allowed here. Partition key and sort key. So partition key is the something. There is the concept called as primary key. So primary key has 2 parts. One is partition key and another is sort key. So I will explain what are the significance of both of these. The partition key is nothing but the partition key knows where the data is stored in the partition. Okay, where in the data is stored in the database. So it is also called as a hash key. So the partition key's value is hashed by the DB, and because that is the reason it is called as the hash key. Whereas sort key is something you can say it is used for sorting or searching purpose, and it denotes how the items with some items within the same partition key are sorted or searched within that partition. So it is a way to represent one as to many relationships. So we will see in the once the table has been created what is the sort key and other things. So as of now you just need to understand the partition key and sort key both forms your primary key. And mainly this is used, say, for querying. We need both these, these keys. So sort key is optional, whereas partition key is something we need. And this is because if say we are trying to query something in our table or database, in that case, if we are not specifying these things, then it will do the full scan of this particular table. And in order to avoid the full scan operation, we need to provide the partition key. And sort key is optional one, so that is something you have to note. I'll give the name, say for example game players, something like that. You can give any name and let it be a string, binary and number. The three option I can give as a string. Sort key is optional, I am not going to specify. The table setting, there are two settings. Default setting, which is here the information is mentioned as it's a fastest way to create your table. You can modify the setting now or after your table has been created. And customize setting is something that we can do some customization as per our requirement. So we can just select first of all, let's see the default setting. With the default setting, you can see capacity modes, provision, read capacity, write capacity, all those things are here. So it's setting value and editable after creation. So you can notice local secondary index is the only thing which cannot be edited after creation of the table. Apart from that, each of the things, say you need to change the capacity mode from provision to on demand, you can change after creation as well. So that is the to talk about these things. So we can go and click on customize settings so that we can see which are the other things we can do or configure before our table is available. First thing is table class. So table class, it defines the way, like the significance of the table class is how the data is being read in the table. Either it is frequently will be used read, or it will be infrequently accessed. So if the data is being going to be accessed frequently, then we can do the DynamoDB standard. And if it is going to be accessed infrequently, so we can choose another class, that is DynamoDB standard IA, which stands for infrequently accessed. So for this demo purpose, I can just select the default one, which is DynamoDB standard. Capacity calculator, you can click and see these are the capacity standards. Capacity calculator for read capacity units and write capacity units. And you can notice one thing, if we select both classes, like if I go with the DynamoDB standard, which is already selected, it will show me the estimated cost, which is $0.67 per month for AP South 1, that is the zone I am looking at right now, that is the region, which is Mumbai region. And if I select DynamoDB standard IA, so you can see the price has changed from 0.67 to 0.83. okay. So basically both these classes focus on different things. Like if we go for DynamoDB standard, here it's mentioned it will be like throughput, like reads and write will be the dominant table cost, okay, with the standard DynamoDB standard. However, with the DynamoDB standard IA, so the storage will be the dominant table cost. Okay, so because of that, the price, you can see even the other things in the capacity calculator are the same. You can see if I go again with the DynamoDB standard, the things are here in the capacity calculator not changed. Even that the capacity like estimated cost is getting changed, because the dominant part is in the DynamoDB standard, it is the throughput, that is reads and write, whereas in the standard IA it will be storage. Okay, so this is the very a short thing to update. Coming back to read and write capacity setting, there are two modes. One is on demand, another is provision. We can change or switch from one to another as even after the creation of the table. On demand is simply like it will be on demand as our application perform, the reads and write will be adjusted based on the traffic. However, in the provision one, we can manage and optimize the cost by allocating read write capacity in advance. Okay, so something like in provision will in advance you are deciding, like the workload and other things, so you can do the provision one. And the on demand is something like you are not sure about the traffic, and based on that you will take a call to go with the on demand. So I will just go for provision one in this case, because since this is a demo. Read capacity and write capacity, here you can see, and there is a auto scaling button for both. So auto scaling, it will be dynamically adjust the provision throughput capacity on your behalf in response to actual traffic pattern. Same you can see about the write capacity as well. So auto scaling, you can also check out my previous video on how the auto scaling works. It is basically, it will scale up and down based on the traffic of the application. So we need not worry about manual scaling. It will be automatically scaled up or down based on the capacity requirement. So here we can auto scaling, if we select if we enable the auto scaling on, here we can select, okay, how much will be the minimum capacity, how much will be the maximum capacity. See, if I can select 7 or 8 and the target utilization, say for example 50. So this is target utilization %. This is, you can say, called as a throttling or threshold. Like basically, if this threshold has been reached, then the capacity will be increased. So minimum it will be 1 and maximum it will be 7, and capacity will be throttled based on the target utilization. For the read capacity and write capacity, in the both case we can select as per our requirement. So for demo purpose, I'll just 50% as target utilization. Secondary index is we don't need at this point of time. Basically, we can use the secondary index to perform queries on attributes that are not part of our tables primary. So there are some of the applications which needs say they are looking for to querying some of the attributes which are not part of this table. They are part of outside the table. So in that case, we can do the global index, and with respect to that, the secondary indexes will be created. Then capacity, estimated read or write capacity, cost, we can see here, total read capacity, write capacity, etc. We can adjust the things if we want. And finally, it's encryption at rest. So the encryption key management, there are 3 options you can see here. One is owned by Amazon DynamoDB, encryption key management by Amazon DynamoDB, which is the default selected. Then AWS managed keys, and another is stored in your account, like customer managed key. This is the third option. I'll go with the owned by Amazon DynamoDB. We can enable the deletion protection. So if that is turned on, then we can prevent our table to be accidentally deleted using this option. You can assign some tags. I can do any tag, like say department, say some production, etc. And we can give up to 50 tags, as you can see here. So with this one, we can add 49 more tags. Okay, so these are the things only we can do. Then I can click on create table. So the status is now getting created, and within seconds we can see our DynamoDB table has been created. Okay, you can see it has been created. I'll click on this one. DynamoDB game01 is the name of my table. So we can, there are several parameters. Let's discuss each parameter one by one. First of all, overview. It will show us kind of summary of the things which are there in the place. Here you can see there is a warning that protect your DynamoDB table from accidental writes and deletes. So the significance of this is when we turn on, when we use the PIT, like point in time recovery. So what we'll do is DynamoDB, it will back up our table automatically, and up to 35 days the backup will be, it will back up. So it will retain the data up to 35 days. So there will be additional charges. You can click on this button here and it will open how the pricing and other things. So this is the additional service. So the main use of this is, if say this is not enabled, so we will find it difficult to recover our table if someone has accidentally deleted that. So with the point in time recovery, it keeps backing up as and when there are the transactions are there to the table, and that will be taken care by this one. So it will be backed up by using either DynamoDB or Amazon backup. Then indexes, you can see global and secondary indexes. Okay, and there is no index here, and if we need to get some more information, we can click on this info button and it will open up this a bit small information here. You can see what is the global secondary index, GSI. Like some of the application might need to perform many kinds of queries using a variety of different attributes as query criteria. And to support these requirements, we can create one or more global secondary indexes and issue queries request against these indexes. That is the significance. And when we use this global secondary indexes, so this secondary index updates consume write capacity unit from index, not from the base table. It means it's not going to use the write capacity from this table, but the index from global secondary index, from there the write capacity will be utilized. Okay, we don't need this one. Monitor, you can see by default CloudWatch monitoring there, and you can see here CloudWatch metrics. So there are several metrics. It gets updated, and we can customize the period according to which that will be that keeps getting updated. Right now you can see it's read usage and write usage. You can see here. Okay. Then global tables. So global table is nothing but we can create the replicas. Like you can create other AWS region to which you have replicated this table. You can say simply like it will be another copy to another region using that can be created using this read replicas. So if you click on create replica, here our current region is Asia Pacific, that is Mumbai. We can select any region. Let me select Asia Pacific, for example Singapore region, IAM role, and if I click on create replica, so it will use this IAM role, that is AWS service role for DynamoDB replication. It will automatically use this IAM role and the replica will be created. Okay, and for replication to work, DynamoDB streams will be activated automatically for new and old images. So we'll see what is DynamoDB streams. Okay, going in the next parameters. I'll just cancel this one. Backups, as we discussed about point in time recovery, it is to backup. It will backup our DynamoDB data for 35 days. Like there will be 35 days of time limit up to which the data will be retained, and this is to protect against accidental write or delete operation. That is something we discussed. So there will be charges associated with that. You don't need this right now. You can see the status is right now disabled. So if I click on this link, it will bring the to this page where we can see what are the charges and pricing options or everything. Then this is about point in time. There is also another option for backups. Okay, so if I click on create backup, there are two options: on demand backup and schedule backup. Means we can take say on demand or say ad hoc backup, as well as we can schedule as well as per our requirement. If I click on create backup, you can see there are several options. It will specify the DynamoDB VM01 is our source table name, the settings. So we can go with the default setting, which is this one. Like backup window will start it in 1 hour. It will be managed by AWS backup and transition to cold storage, everything. And if we click on customize setting, there are some other options like how you want backup to be managed. It will be managed by AWS backup or backup will be managed by DynamoDB. With AWS backup, there will be the other features such as say cross region and cross account copy tags and cold storage. Like if we want to transition the data from our warm tier to cold tier to so that we can save some cost of using the backup storage. In that case we can do this one, but with the DynamoDB these options are not available. You can see here. Okay, and then other options like when you want to start the backup, like within 1 hour, or we can customize as per our requirement. Here there are several things. transition to cold storage that we were discussing. If say I want my backup backup data to be transitioned from warm storage to cold storage, I can specify say 7 days, so that after backing up after 7 days it will be moved to cold storage from warm to storage, and because of that we can save some cost or storage cost using this transition to cold storage option. So I'll just cancel this. I just wanted to show you this one. Let's click on exports and streams, export to S3 bucket. So using this option we can export our jobs, so it will the jobs will be exported to S3 bucket. With this option you can click on export to S3 here, and there's you can see it will ask us to turn on the point in time recovery, because if that is the requirement, basically prerequisite to export data to Amazon S3. We need to turn on the point in time recovery, and there will be additional charges for that. And if I enable the point in time recovery, then we need to specify the S3 bucket. So the S3 bucket can be from the same account that I am operating right now. This is Cloud with Mohsin and this is account. Otherwise we can also choose a different AWS account as well. In that case we need to specify the account ID. The same like my account ID is this one, we need to specify account ID here. Okay, we can also click on additional setting, and here you can see export from a specific point in time, the format which you want, and encryption key as well. There are option like Amazon S3 key, that is SS3 SSE, server side encryption S3, or KMS SSE KMS. Okay, so these are these things you can see under additional settings. I'll just cancel this. Again, they have the option like Amazon Kinesis data stream details and Amazon like DynamoDB stream details. So basically these are the options to you can say if you're because Kinesis data streams is something like streaming the data, and you can say these are the analytics option. We can this can be used to manage or capture the changes which are happening there, and that will be you can see here, capture item level changes in your table and push the changes to DynamoDB stream. You can access the change information through DynamoDB stream API. Okay, so this is basically to capture the things, and these are the things like Kinesis, and there are Kinesis data shard, and there are other 3 options as well in the Kinesis. So we will see when we discuss about the analytics. So for now we can just understand it will just capture the changes which are being happening to the item level changes in the table and replicate the changes to Kinesis data stream. That is that. Clicking on additional settings, you can see these are the additional settings. And capacity mode, if I say click on edit, you can change from provision to on demand, as we discussed in the beginning. The other things like deletion, time to live, basically it will automatically deletes the expired item from the table. If we select this one, we can enable this, and we can specify like the delete expired items from the table can be deleted with respect to time to live option. This parameter encryption we can change, deletion protection, and all those things can be changed. So these all things are editable as we discussed. Now if I click on explore table items, you can see this is our DynamoDB game 0 is the name of our table. Okay. So in the item summary you can see there are no items right now. You can click on get item count, and if I click on start scan, it will scan what of the items are there. We can add the additional items to here our this table DynamoDB game 0. You can say click on create item, and here we can add some attributes, items here. So for example, I can match inventory. For example, I can click on add a new attribute as string. You can give it as layer name. You can do any name, and this is the string type. So I can mention Marcos, something like this. You can add another attributes as number, last score, for example. I can do 0050 or anything you can do. Again, you can do level, say for example 9, and you can click on create. So now if I click on inventory, you can see these are the things which are created here. In the JSON view also we can take a look. These are the things of these are the attributes and items as part of our DynamoDB game 01 table, which is created in the DynamoDB. Okay. If you want to scan or query, you can query here or attributes, say for example name, you can run. Okay. You can see here the read capacity units consumed is 0.5. So here every time it will show us. If we go for the scan, if we click on run, again it has scanned the things and scan has been completed. Okay, so this is our table. So basically you can see with the NoSQL database, it's there are like the very, you can say, many things we can do which are not possible in the RDS, because in the RDS, like relational or SQL database, there are tables and columns, like rows and columns, and the columns needs to be have some value needs to be entered for each column. But this is not the case with the NoSQL database. And in the NoSQL database, say this is the index, or say this is the table, and I can create another table which may have some other attributes which are not part of this table. So it gives us a little bit more flexibility for the NoSQL database, and that is something I personally found like this is a good option with the NoSQL database. So once we are done, say we have explored the things, we can select this table and we can click on delete, and I can click on confirm. And please ensure you are not selecting this option, create on an on-demand backup, because before deletion it will create and save a backup, and it will be additional cost for us. So I don't want that, so I'll just click on delete. So deletion has been started. Okay, now let's summarize the things we discussed so far. Basically what we discuss is DynamoDB is a fully managed, fast and flexible NoSQL database service. This is for all applications that needs consistent single-digit millisecond latency at any scale. Like we discussed the use cases like it's being used in IoT, in gaming, okay, software, wherever there's a millisecond latency is desired. In such application, DynamoDB, which is NoSQL database, is being used. It is a serverless database. And in DynamoDB, tables, items, or attributes are the core components. Okay, we see like a table is collection of items, and item is collection of attributes. So these are the core components in the DynamoDB. We need to remember these things: table, items, and attributes. Each item should have must have a primary key. So we discuss about there are two parts in the primary key. One is called as partition key, that we have given the name of our table, and another is sort key, which is optional. So partition key is also called as hash key, and it is nothing but partition key. It knows like where the in which partition the data has been stored, and the partition key is value is hashed by the database, hence it is called as a hash key. Whereas sort key is, you can say, it's used for searching or sorting purpose, and that is optional. And why we will need these keys, like say for querying purpose, if we want to query the as we have seen in the demo, For querying purpose, we need to do the partition key and of course the sort key. So this is to avoid doing the full scan operation of the table. Otherwise, full scan operation has to be done, which is it will load the database as well as it will be CPU intensive. And because of that, we can go with this for querying purpose. Mainly, this is video. So guys, this is the I wanted to show you. I hope you like this video, and please don't forget to share, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is Kavit Mohsin, and like the videos like this will take some effort, so I would really appreciate if you really like, comment and share this video. And if you have any queries, just feel free to write in the comment section. I'll get back to you at the earliest. So thank you for your time and happy learning. Okay, bye bye.